8. We're on YouTube too. We're gonna stress the internet tubes. See what we got here.
Oh, I hear us.
Yeah, that's me. I'm making,
All right.
I'm making sure we don't. It sounds normal on the stream. 78. We're on YouTube too. We're gonna stress the internet tubes.
Oh, they're stressing.
See what we got here.
They're definitely stressing now. It's like straight meta.
Yeah. All right. Okay, whose phone is that? Because mine's off now.
Not me.
Oh, mine's not off yet. My bad. Sorry, people. All right, now it's off. Hi, guys.
Fail.
Epic fail.
I mean, you could at least pour water on it to get quiet.
Exactly.
Come on.
Shut up.
That's a good permanent way of fixing it.
Yes.
Just
Well,
put
here's
some
the.
water on it.
But it's the iPhone 10, so like it can be underneath water for like 30 seconds, up to however many meters, and it will survive. So,
Well, I'm
What
gonna
about
tell you right now,
31?
I'm gonna tell you.
What if it just explodes at 31?
that computer lasted longer than 30 seconds underwater?
that is true.
I mean, we're
Thank-
talking like 5 to 10 minutes.
It was for everyone who is concerned and has shown great concern for the computer, which I
Nobody
think is
has.
one person.
Yeah, me.
One person, yeah, Nick.
And I'm sitting here.
It appears to be alive. It is. I've brought it up. I've done some stuff to it. It is still functional. I need to do some more cleanup on it, water spots and that. But other than that, good on. I think CyberPower is the one who built that one for building
Yeah.
a semi-waterproof computer.
Is it the one under the table right
No,
now?
it's the one.
No,
sitting
it's the
out
one
there
sitting outside.
on the
okay.
table.
I was about to say the one on fire.
Yeah. the
Yeah.
one-
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what's ironic about this whole thing is the one that's under the table right now is water cooled. So
Gummit.
So you would have just been helping it.
I've got to check out this
I'm
water
like,
cool
here, a
system, 'cause I
computer?
don't fully understand it either.
Here's
it's
some more
fully
cooling.
sealed. I can't see anything. This is a Dell that's underneath there. It's one of the first computers that I haven't built myself in probably 10
that
years.
was water cooled.
Dude, you
It's
got a
with water-
Dell?
It's water cooled, yeah. So,
So there's like liquid floating around.
uh huh, yeah.
How do they separate all the components?
It's a sealed system. So basically, the water cool, the cooler for the CPU and everything for the processor is it's all sealed. So it's basically like a sealed loop, and it
want one
continuous
of
cycles.
those.
Yeah,
I want one of those.
it's way more
just to
common
have
than
it,
it used to
why
be.
not?
Well, that's true.
Yep. So if you are friends and you're listening and you're watching, you've got and you start hearing funky audio, shoot me a text or comment on the feed. If you can
Yeah.
hear me say comment on the feed if it sounds
Yeah.
funky. So we are live again. It is episode 78. I have not yet started the recording, so
That's good.
here we go.
That's good.
Good morning, everybody. It's Gather the Nerds, episode 78. I'm Cav. That's Nick.
What's up?
Church is recovered from whatever he had, lobster pox.
Lobster Fox. Hey, guys.
So I'm going with lobster pox.
I think it was lobster pox.
So
They said I'm still contagious.
that's great. That is awesome.
Oh, thanks, Phil.
So we've got.
I'm a germaphobe, by the way. Like, we would not use the same pen.
Oh no! If you even thought you had the flu, you would have been banned from this house for 2 weeks. Like, in the same
Like
way.
that one week where he says, "Oh, I was contagious all weekend, but I didn't have any signs." I'm like, dude, I will cut you.
I will kill you. So we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dynamically adjusting lighting as we go.
Well, we'll,
because Nick is over in the shadows like a,
Batman.
Batman. It seems.
Which should be you.
Yeah.
Should be you.
So, yeah. So we're back. We're gonna start doing this live thing relatively often.
Weekly,
Yeah, just because that way, if you're watching live, you get the content early, and then if you listen, you'll get the content on Sundays like
Yep.
normal. So
And guys, please share the podcast pages as often as possible. Encourage people to listen and to follow us, because that ultimately will help us become more present at cons with media passes and that kind of a thing, to be able to bring you more content. So, iTunes ratings, share the live feeds, share the pages. All of that stuff is super critical for us to keep this going, for you to bring you fresh content, so you're not just listening to us ramble on.
we are basically asking you to become spammers on our behalf. So
For free.
for free. But we give you content every week.
And I will note, my coffee is staying on the floor except for when I'm drinking it. Just so you know.
So if you see him on the video, him dip out and dip back, that's him getting coffee.
Yeah.
This is earlier than normal for us.
Like 2 hours.
2 hours early. We've got a schedule thing on my side, and so
And it's the 1 week weekend day that I wanted to sleep, not because of this podcast is why I'm up, but because of my child
Yeah.
who gets up at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
Oh,
Every
man.
Saturday.
Every Saturday.
No matter when I go to sleep, she's still up at 6:30.
You're talking about the followers and sharing and stuff like that thing. I've been, because we talked about this on the drive back from Planet, I've been giving serious consideration about doing a very public experiment about Instagram followers and what basically the reaction, what happens when you actually buy them. Like, I'm curious that ding.
That was me. Sorry.
Okay.
It was Phil actually that texted me. Or text us.
I don't have my watch unlocked.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's not even on your wrist, Phil. What in the world?
About doing a very public thing, because one thing we talked about was, so we want to cover Dallas as media.
Yeah, and we can't.
And we can't because they've got their minimums are 2,000 followers,
Which I get.
in multiple platforms, which I get. And so you talk about you hear about these internet famous people or whatever, and their thing is this, like, so a lot of them will buy followers,
At least at first.
At least at first, to build up, and then they shed those followers and do whatever. Where we would never want to be that shady about it. But since we do talk a lot about tech and things like that here, it would be a very interesting, very public experiment that, yes, this is what we're doing. Yes, this, we track who they were and stuff like that so we could shed them at some other point. But I just been giving more thought to that. I think it could be a very interesting experiment in social media.
And the biggest thing, the issue that we ran into when we were kind of hashing this out on the way back from Planet was, some of those spam bots, if you want to call them that, are just like, follow for follow, or what, they're like random things that pop up on people's feeds, and we don't want to be those people.
Yeah.
So if we do this, it's going to have to be something that is
a higher level spam bot.
Yeah, right. I mean, but it's tailored to what we're actually offering, not just something to gain followers, I guess, in a way. Even though that is the sole purpose, ultimately we don't want to send junk to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of like boutique type followers and things like that you can do. So I've been digging in a little bit of that just to see what what that would look like.
And if you've noticed, like, since Planet, we've tried to be more active on social media, because that's one way that we were gaining followers during the weekend. We gained about 20 some odd followers during Planet Comic-Con in the following week. This week's been a little bit lax just because of life in general, and Watergate last weekend kind of distracted me from getting some images that I wanted while we were recording. So anyway, we're gonna do the best that we can, but we need your help too, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's get into your regularly scheduled programming. Let's talk about Kevin Smith for a minute.
Yeah, man.
Because this affected me in ways that I did not anticipate.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, as everybody knows at this point, Kevin Smith was shooting a comedy special in Glendale, did one show, wasn't feeling well, basically had a massive heart attack. Mm-hmm. Now, he's fine. He is home. He is recovering, all of those things. Nick sent that.
Like 6:30 in the morning. When
it was earlier than that. Yeah. It's at 6 something in the morning. And I'm literally about to step into the shower, and I see that, and I read it, over and over and over again. And it hit me in a very strange way because, I've been spending the last week thinking about this because it hit me in two ways. One, Kevin Smith and what he's done is largely responsible for what we do. I mean,
Absolutely.
A lot of this podcast is mirrored off what he does. So there's a certain aspect of I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the grandfather of podcasting or the father of podcasting, something like that. A lot of that, there's a lot of appreciation that he may or may never not know about this that we have, because when I was thinking about it, he's been podcasting for 10 years. Mm-hmm. I've been listening for 10 years. I've had that dude in my ear for thousands upon thousands of hours. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the possibility that goes away, like, it unsettled me a lot.
Sure.
Way more than I anticipated. Like, to the point that I read that, and it was, 6:15, whatever he said it. By the time I kind of shook out of it and looked up, I'd been reading that for like 15 minutes, not moving, over and over and over again. And, certainly, there's you know, if people who know me well, the small group of friends that I keep, also probably realize there's a very, very similar thing to my dad, because my dad had a heart issue, but he very suddenly passed away. And so it wasn't the same, because there's nothing like losing a parent. There's literally nothing in the world like it. But it was similar in that somebody who has affected and kind of guided your life, even indirectly, for so long, that possibility of that person being gone is like, holy, like,
yeah,
it was, I mean, it screwed me up for the whole day. And, you know, I was thinking about, you know, 10 years ago, you know, the nerddom that seems to rule the world today and things like that, it wasn't as prevalent. But from day one, he's always been the guy that's like, you know, let your nerd flag fly, and, you know, be passionate about what you want to be passionate about, and who gives a whatever about anybody else, long before anybody else. And, you know, that's, you know, just a weird kind of, I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi force ghost guiding people over the last few years. And in the world that we're in today, which is so divided and so divisive and so whatever, somebody that accepting, that's not really someone we can afford to lose at this point. Like, and, but yeah, I did not expect that. Like, I didn't expect to feel that strongly about something, you know. And this is somebody that we've met for 30 seconds, like a photo op. If that. It was at Dallas last year. Last year. It was running late. I was wearing my TESD hockey jersey. He had not seen one yet. And he's like, "Oh my God, that's the first one I've seen, whatever, bring it in." He gives me this big bear hug. We take a picture and we move on. That would be my only interaction with Kevin Smith. And I mean, he was high as a kite too, but, but you know, for everything that he's done and hopefully continues to do for everybody, the biggest thing that really kind of hit me was he's talking about, in that moment when you think you're going to die, you know, are you content with things? And he, you know, there's certainly you know, people who know me know I'm not a religious guy. So in that moment, in that panic, like, that chemical dump in your brain is to calm you down. Like that's because if you're in a life or death situation, panic could cost you your life. Are you content, you know, with everything he's had? And he was very peaceful, very content about it. That is not something that I would say a majority of this world could say. If the time came, are you absolutely 100% content with everything? Yeah. I know I'm not. And that brought that into sharp focus for me, which was also unexpected. So
it's really crazy how life circumstances of others can bring into focus the things that are important to us, both life and death, you know. And with regard to Kevin Smith, I mean, I'm glad that he's doing well, and I'm glad that he had the wherewithal to tell his people, you know, like, hey, I'm not feeling right, let's go get this checked out. And
well, that was even his story. He posted a long story about the whole thing,
right? Yeah,
and it was his people who were just like, "No, you're doing this."
Yeah, and I'm glad that he listened. You know,
yeah,
and you know, ultimately, it's one of those things, like you said. He, for me at least, is the reason why I wanted to do this, and it's primarily because of a podcast that he did right before we started this show, or this podcast, where he's talking to somebody in the audience about podcasting. And he's like, you know, guys, just record what you want to record. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks, because you'll find your niche, and people will find it, and you know, you'll end up doing the things that you love, and that's really what it's all about. And so, I don't know, I was grateful that he's okay, but I agree with you that it put into focus a lot of things in regard to just trying to make sure that you live the best life possible that you can live, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, there are, you know, it sometimes it takes an ounce of mortality for people who are important to you to kind of wake you up, and that is, you know, sometimes it comes in unexpected ways. But, you know, it was an event that carried a certain amount of weight that I wasn't necessarily prepared for.
Sure.
And, you know, there are a lot of similarities, you know, obviously from my personal life, but, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, when this stuff happens, people always say, I'm going to live better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And that's great. And that usually lasts for a while, but that usually fades off at some point. And I've been guilty of that. I mean, absolutely. And so, I don't know, changes are coming. There are things I want to do, and things that are important to me, that, require a little more attention. And so, that's, it's strange. It took an internet personality / director / somebody I've met for 30 seconds to snap me to. But it is I'm incredibly grateful that he is still with us. He is feeling way better. All of his Facebook posts, he is so energetic, mainly because his heart is getting blood now.
Yeah, that 100% blockage is totally cleared up.
Of the Widowmaker, I mean, the fact that he survived is incredible. I mean,
it's called the Widowmaker for a reason.
Exactly.
I will say it was, because I read that right when it popped up and we were just about to leave for work, and it was good to see that he started off with, "Hey, I'm fine."
Yeah.
Because usually when someone posts something that says, "Hey, I'm fine, but I suffered this last night," it doesn't really hit you as much, because you start off with, "Oh, okay, they're fine."
You get the good news
that
first.
sucks,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're fine. But being who it was, and he's honestly, Cav, he's not just an internet celebrity or someone you've met for 30 seconds. Everyone has, like, people who haven't even met him. I've never met him. I feel like I know him. That's how much he gives to us. He cuts some, I was going to say promos. He cuts some of the most personal streams and messages to fans that I have ever seen. It certainly feels like he lets us in so much, because he wants to know us as fans. He feels like just a friend. And when you take in how important that is and what his message is in today's world, you nailed it. We can't afford to lose someone like that. And he's a guy that basically, before I came back to my nerd roots, I was a View Universe guy. Sam and I would get teased because everyone said that I was Brody and he was Banky.
Banky.
We were the two sides of Jason Lee. So it's, even though he started off with, it's, I'm fine now. They got me here in time. You're right. It was huge. It hits you on such a personal level of, someone who's been such a good person for so long was almost out of here. And same thing with me. I've been, what was that, Tuesday?
Yeah, it was earlier this week, yeah.
It's changed the last several days for me about how I'm looking forward to the things that I do in my life. Yes, I want to get stuff right, but additionally, I want to be more prepared. I want to be able to say at the end of every day, yeah, I did the best I could today to make the world better or make those around me happier.
Well, and sometimes I think, like Cav said, a dose of mortality kind of brings everything into focus. But I think it's a little bit, at least for me, I think it's a little bit deeper than just saying like, oh, okay, today, I did the best. I know what you're saying, and I think that's a good thing to go for. And I think sometimes as humans, we get caught up in thinking we have to do something big that day for it to be the best thing we did. But like, you finish that statement by saying, did I make everybody around me happy? Did I make their life better? And I think that's where we get hung up, materialistically, in thinking that we have to do these big grand things,
Nope, just be a good person.
And yeah, right, and treat people kindly. And if you can bring a smile to somebody's face, bring a smile to somebody's face. I mean, sometimes the legacy that we leave behind we think is materialistic, but sometimes it's simply the human being inside of us all. And like I said, like we've all said, I'm obviously a huge Kevin Smith fan, and I've not been listening to his podcast for that long, but his movies, I love them. Jay and Silent Bob are like my spirit animals in some weird ways, primarily because I want to be.
Posted into Jay's rap.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you did that. It's not podcast appropriate for us, but like just the fact that they can have such an interaction, and Silent Bob literally says nothing
Nothing
until Jay and Silent Bob strike back, and it's just one of those things that I don't know. I just admire him a lot, and like you said, I think he brings so much of him to everything that he does, and that's hard to miss. And I mean, how Kevin Smith of him to actually post a picture of himself in the hospital bed with the oxygen thing down by his chin. I didn't even know what that was at first. And the thing about Kevin Smith that you guys don't understand is he always takes his pictures with his eyes wide open, like shocked. Yeah. Doesn't matter what picture it is. It could be a picture with his mom, anybody. It's just they're wide open. It's the craziest thing. And watching him do that in Dallas was crazy because like he's sweating because the light. I mean, it's hot in there, and he's got his eyes wide open, but he's having to wipe his face off every time he gets sweat in his eyes. It's hilarious.
It's for him just to kind of put a point on it. Really is, I mean, I would say it is an accurate statement. He's a hero to a lot of people. He's a hero to us for sure, in terms of what he's done and what he continues to do. And sure, he's given us some guidance in terms of being a nerd and podcasting and things like that. And now he's given a deeper message to I think a lot of people. And he was a little shocked, I think, at the outpouring of love and support from people and stuff like that. And it was a for somebody who kind of plays himself off as maybe not the best director and stuff like that. There's a lot of love for that man, and a lot of it comes, from all over Hollywood and certainly out of this studio. So
well, and I think that speaks to his humanity too. He's not egotistical in that way. But did you happen to see, to kind of make a little bit light of the whole thing, even though it is very, it's in poor taste, but did you see that Disney Channel wished him well, but got his name wrong?
Well, that was on purpose.
Oh, okay.
So he was talking to Disney Channel about people at Disney Channel about people who always call him Kevin James instead of Kevin Smith. So he was talking to Disney Channel about that. So the people from Disney sent them cookies saying, "Get well soon, Kevin James."
That's so funny.
There was a picture also out of Emerald City Comic Con. Somebody played Heart Attack Silent Bob.
Oh my god!
So basically, it's the Silent Bob.
So now it's a new cosplay.
So now it's the Silent Bob coat, hat, hospital gown. And so so
I mean, leave it to fandom to make light of something that obviously turned out well, but Kevin Smith would appreciate that.
Oh, he liked the picture. A bunch of people are like, "Oh, that's in such poor taste," and da-da-da. He's like, "Dude, that's awesome."
You gotta have a sense of humor about life,
Yeah.
even when it affects you.
Absolutely. So obviously continue recovering, get well soon. We'll see you out on the con circuit at some point, hopefully. And we'll get, it's...
we can call him Kevin Smith, or Kevin James.
We can call him Kevin James. Hey, Kevin James, you want to do the podcast? So, but, it is... I'm grateful that it turned out the way that it did.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I think, as I mentioned before, it's a wake-up call to a lot of people, including me, and that's I'm grateful for that. So, all right, let's move on to our normal stuff. Let's dig into DC, because there's some things happening in the DC world right now. So, Warner Brothers and AT&T, I'm sorry, Warner Brothers, so there's Warner Brothers, there's DC, and then there's Time Warner and AT&T, right? So, Time Warner and AT&T are trying to merge. Time Warner obviously owns Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers, DC Comics, and so on and so forth. There are rumors now that if the Justice Department or whoever it is, the FTC or whatever, blocks the merger of Time Warner and AT&T, which is receiving significant resistance from the government, some antitrust things, that both DC Entertainment and DC Comics could be up for sale.
So basically, how much money do the three of us have?
I got $5.
I got tree fitty. It's like
you gotta. It seems like you need to pull out a handful of change with a button in it.
I could probably get together $17.
Okay. I think we might have a chance to buy a trade paperback.
Oh, we could definitely get one. Let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're talking about if the merger fails, Time Warner's going to get broken apart. That would sell separately Warner Brothers, HBO, and Turner Broadcasting, and so that would leave DC Comics also a bit up in the air as well.
Wow. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I'll be shocked if it doesn't fall through because AT&T already owns Dish. which
No.
or DirecTV. I mean, excuse me.
They own DirecTV, yes.
Yeah. And so that's a competitor to Time Warner.
Yes and no. I mean, AT&T owns DirecTV, but they have their Uverse and their satellite platform.
Well, their Uverse satellite platform is DirecTV now. It's all one thing.
Uverse.
They market it differently, but
yeah,
it's the
Uverse
same
is not satellite, but
right. But what I'm saying is the reason they started Uverse was to set the infrastructure up. I know this from my uncle, but they set up Uverse in order to get into the houses, right? And then so in the areas where they couldn't get in, like my neighborhood, because Uverse is not, it works from a telephone box. So AT&T doesn't own the boxes in my neighborhood, and so in order to get there, it has to be DirecTV. That's why they purchased it. It's so that they can get into all the neighborhoods.
But it's a I like I said, there's.
But Time Warner's not here, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Time Warner.
Yeah, Time Warner's not here. There are other things, like I'm sure that they may have to sell off a piece of it or something like that. This is too big of a merger for things not. I mean, there's significant money on the line if it fails for people, because that's typically the deal. Like like when T-Mobile Sprint was talking about, if that merger failed, they were going to pay Sprint like $4 billion in a termination fee, something like that. Guess what? The thing failed. The merger didn't go through, and so there's going to be more to this story, more details into this story. I mean, it is facing significant pushback, but that's not uncommon in a merger
well
of this
before I'm
size.
even in the kitchen. I need my blood sugar to stay in control. So I asked about Tresiba.
Buying up other large telecommunication companies.
Tresiba is a once daily,
and,
long-acting insulin that lasts even longer than 24 hours.
I need to shave my A1C.
It'll be interesting to see.
Tresiba works like my body's insulin. Release is slow and steady, providing powerful A1C reduction.
I'm always on call. An insulin that fits my schedule is key.
But somebody who I
can take Tresiba any time of day. So if I miss or delay a dose, I take it when I remember, as long as there's at least 8 hours between doses.
Once in use, it lasts 8 weeks, with or without refrigeration, twice as long as the Lantus pen.
Tresiba is used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. Don't use Tresiba to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar, or if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Don't share needles or insulin pens. Don't reuse needles. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which may cause dizziness, sweating, confusion, and headache. Check your blood sugar. Low blood sugar can be serious and may be life-threatening. Injection site reactions may occur. Tell your prescriber about all medicines you take and all your medical conditions. Taking TZDs with insulins like Tresiba may cause serious side effects like heart failure. Your insulin dose shouldn't be changed without asking your prescriber. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing, fast heartbeat, extreme drowsiness, swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, dizziness, or confusion. Ask your healthcare provider if you're Tresiba ready. Covered by most insurance and Medicare plans.
I learned an interesting fact about AT&T buildings all over the United States.
What's that?
The reason they look the way that, like, the one downtown, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a rectangle and all that. The reason they look that way is because they double as nuclear fallout shelters.
Yes.
Wow.
Did not know that. Learned that on the underground tour that we did the other day. That's pretty cool.
It is,
wow.
Because if you walk through a lot of older AT&T buildings, there's the nuclear whatever shelter signs on the wall. I'm just
as a kid though, I never noticed it, and I spent a lot of time in the one downtown because my mom worked there. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
So where's the one downtown? Just in case.
6th and Elgin.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Run from the courthouse.
How much room is in there?
It's
like
a
big building.
15-story building.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about AT&T. Did you know that they actually own Blimpie subs?
That explains why there's no Blimpies here.
Well, that is true. We don't have them anymore, but
we used to. Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust you on this.
Yeah, it's not true, but
I didn't think so.
I was say it's not sounding right here.
Yeah.
Also, when we
it is true. We don't have them here anymore.
Kind of along this lines of telecommunications buying cable companies. I saw kind of going along with net neutrality, like we've discussed for several weeks now. I saw a commercial on YouTube as I was, because they pop ads up. Apparently Cox now offers Netflix through their Contour system.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
It's an embedded. It's an embedded thing. Just how they're basically trying to make their Contour system the one-stop shop for everything, so you don't have to have a Roku.
Almost like a Roku thing.
Yeah, so that you don't have to have a Roku or an Apple
when you
TV.
think about it in terms of net neutrality, then they're not fighting against the cable company to offer it on their network. You see what I'm getting
Yeah,
at?
I mean, unless Cox is like, yes, we're providing Netflix, but no, we're not giving it priority. Like
That could be it.
I
yeah,
mean, there's.
yeah. I just thought it was
I'm sure it's a
interesting.
licensing thing. Like I don't know if it's like, does Netflix go to Cox and say I want to be in your cable box, or does Cox go to Netflix and says I want you in my cable box? I don't
know, but I want to know how much money somebody paid to use the Stranger Things logos, like lettering, in order to make the commercial that I kept seeing.
Oh yeah,
Because that's what it is.
Nice.
It's like Netflix now on Contour. You know, it's pretty interesting.
In other DC news, we don't have a director for Flashpoint yet, but there's a couple of people who it sounds like they're going to do it.
Just put them all together and they'll make a show.
The directors of Game Night.
They're going to make a team.
They don't need a director.
Or you might say a league.
A league, perhaps?
A league of
they
directors.
might make a Justice League, maybe?
But what's funny is what you're talking about is multiple people. So the directors of Game Night, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, are rumored very heavily to be in the running to direct Flash, or Flashpoint, basically. Now, they actually co-wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, and John Francis Daly was on Bones for a while. But they were in an Ask Me Anything, an AMA session on Reddit on Thursday, and they got asked about the Flash movie, and they had said, still can't say anything, but we're very excited. So it is likely that they have, they were in the running for, like I said, for Spider-Man Homecoming, but they basically said they had another director in mind, but asked them if they liked the story that they pitched and asked them that they write it, and so they wrote. They were one of the writers on Spider-Man Homecoming.
Huh.
So
okay, well that's pretty cool. That could work out, because I mean that Game Night movie, man. Apparently it's great.
Yeah, it's made a lot of money.
I've not seen it yet, but apparently it's fantastic.
Yeah. So it's
dude, John Francis Daly was Sweets on Bones.
He was Sweets
That's
on
awesome.
Bones, yeah.
And he was on Freaks and Geeks.
Yes.
Very cool.
So let's go into the Marvel world. People keep stealing from Stan Lee.
Yeah, what in the world?
So according to TMZ, $1.4 million had gone missing from Stan Lee's bank account. There's a the LAPD has a specialized unit that investigates these things. This new incident comes just a couple of weeks, I guess a week. There's details on comicbook.com, but a few weeks ago, $850,000 was taken from Lee's bank account used to buy a condo.
That he didn't know about.
Yeah, he didn't know about. He said the theft was only discovered after Lee's teams went through a full audit of financial records and discovered a check that was forged in the amount of $300,000, which we had talked about a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So, it is a.
I mean, I guess that's a case where, we wonder how some of these athletes, it hasn't happened recently, but there's been a lot of athletes that have misinvested based on people basically stealing their money. You know what I mean? Like saying they're doing one thing and doing something else. And I mean, it doesn't shock me that he's fallen victim to it. It shocks me that he's just now finding out about it. Like, he's 95.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
how many times has that happened before that he didn't know?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, when you've got Stan Lee money, it takes a full audit to realize you've lost $1 million.
Right. And like, to me, that's almost like a weekly thing at this point. Like, you've lost $300,000, $850,000, and now $1.4 million. Is that what it was?
Yeah, 1.4 million.
Yeah. So, that's like every week you're putting your people on notice. Like we're getting an audit right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's, we haven't seen him on the con circuit nearly as much. He released a statement that says, "Hi, heroes. This is Stan Lee. I haven't been in touch with you lately. Had a little bout of pneumonia I've been fighting, but it seems to be getting better. I want you all to know I'm thinking of you. Of course, I always think of the fans. I hope you're all doing well. And I miss you all. I miss your enthusiasm. I miss all the notes and the photos and the emails I used to get, and I still get a lot of them. And I want you to know that I still love you, and I think that Marvel and Spidey and I have the best group of fans that any group in the world ever had, and I sure appreciate it." That is a really long sentence. "So let me know how you're doing. I hope everything's going well for you. I hope next time we talk, I'll be in even better shape. Maybe we'll have some of this pneumonia knocked down. We can have some real fun over the internet. Until then, Excelsior." So, because he had recently canceled a Wizard World appearance as well. And so, I mean, here's the deal. He's 95. While it may take a couple of weeks for you and I to get over pneumonia, it could take months. For someone of his age, even as, superpowered as Stan Lee is. And it is So something he's got to be very careful about. Let's face it, in the world where the flu is rampant and stuff like that, that is something significant to somebody of that age.
Well, when we were in Dallas, he was also coming off of some ailment. Because they were like, no handshakes, no hugs, no nothing.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so, but I have not heard any stories of like a massive flu outbreak from Planet Comic-Con, so that's nice.
That's good because I was questioning that last week.
Yeah,
I felt horrible last week.
The key that I always is like I start doing like an immune system jump start like weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And just because when you're gonna be around that many people, yeah, it's.
Well, I'm convinced mine was just allergies because it never got any worse than just making me feel bad. But
yeah,
it might have been bird flu or something. I don't know.
In good Marvel news, Avengers: Infinity War, they've moved up
those birds.
Exactly.
I'm saying
they've moved up the release date for Infinity War. Infinity War is now April 27th, a week earlier. And people are trying to figure out, they did this whole like internet campaign type thing about it. And basically what it boils down to is, the two theories were, Deadpool 2 is going to be right after that, like the week after, I think it's the week after Avengers came out. But then this makes way more sense. It was opening April 27th other places in the world, which means we're a week after everybody else. And so they are basically it's going to open on the same day worldwide. So tickets are not yet on sale, but it is something that we are looking at very closely.
I always wonder why they do that, why they release something a week apart, because there's so much potential for stuff to
leak,
get spoiled, be all over the internet.
Yeah, I don't.
It really doesn't make
just
sense.
Release them on the same day or within a 24-hour span. There's if you release it on a Thursday here and a Wednesday everywhere else or something, it's fine. That'll work. People can stay off the internet for one day. Hopefully,
that's difficult.
Hopefully, avoid stuff.
My thought is, and this kind of goes to your line of thinking, is that something significant enough happens in Infinity War.
Oh, I've already got guesses.
That they did not want it spoiled. And
I think we're going to see Thanos.
I think he's blue.
I think he's in the movie.
I've heard he has a hat. That's the spoiler. He wears a Stetson. But he puts it right on, right at the end in the last 30 seconds, and it just goes to credits.
What if he wears a fedora?
That's what 2 is about.
What if he wears a fedora instead?
A fedora?
Yeah.
Well, that's what the next one is.
Oh, gosh.
Avengers 2 Fedora War.
See, they're trying to move it back to start the same day, but we just blew it anyway.
Oh, well, sorry.
It's terrible.
Spoilers, everyone.
Is he going to be in cowboy boots?
What size shoes does Thanos have?
75.
Probably the same as Shaq.
Yeah.
They need to make a Cadillac commercial with Thanos trying to fit in the Cadillac so he can sell it.
And he just says, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
There is some Avengers Infinity War stuff that is being leaked because of the toys. So
I don't buy that because they said the same thing about the comic book that I found. Luckily, the Star Wars issue 1 variant from Hot Topic. They said that it spoiled the
Grey Hulk, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Grey Hulk, but it was from, I think it was from an Avengers movie. But either way, the company went ballistic and said, "Oh, you're spoiling it because this ad spoils it, and everybody's gonna know." Because the book came out in January and the movie didn't come out until like August or something. But it didn't spoil it because the character's not even in the movie.
Yeah, I wonder if it. I mean, a lot could have changed in the time that got printed and the movie got released, and so I wonder if that was the original plan. I want to say it was Grey Hulk.
It is absolutely Grey Hulk.
They were going to have Mr. Fix-It in there?
Mr. Fix-It.
Well, that's what he's called for a little bit.
That's true.
But I would think that's got to be that would be a huge undertaking based on one ad.
Well, no, I'm wondering if like that was the original plan was that, but if they're still in, the thing is, I mean, I'm overly simplifying it. Okay, Hulk is green. Okay, let's or Hulk is gray. Okay, let's grab the little paint bucket and paint, and let's click on Hulk, and now he's green. Like changing his color in CGI would not be
kind of my thing.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, there's apparently there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that costume in Captain Marvel is what they're saying. But, you know, I don't know if it was what had happened to be. I don't know that they ever explained that part. But,
have you guys seen the Infinity Gauntlet though?
The new one, the prop one. Yeah, it's it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's at maybe Think Geek or something.
I just saw it when I was
huge.
Oh
though.
yeah,
I mean,
it's Thanos size.
It's 1-to-1. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I kind of want one for this table. I'll be honest with you.
I still want my piggy bank.
Oh yeah.
I still want that.
I don't know what that is other than a piggy bank. What are we talking about?
Okay, well, it's not a piggy bank. It's a coin bank, I guess I should say. But there's when Hastings was going out of business, we kept trying to find the Infinity Gauntlet. It's like the comic book version, so it's yellow and has the Infinity Stones on it. But it's just his fist, and it's it's probably about right here. And you just deposit coins in it. Yeah, it's like little plastic. Awesome. But Wizards Asylum had like 2 or 3 of them. I just didn't want to pay $25 for one. I wanted to try to find it at Hastings and never did.
That gauntlet is Hot Toys.
The one that's at the mall currently.
Well, no, the one that I saw, the life-size full one
looks pretty amazing.
Is Hot Toys. Yeah.
Well, there's literally somebody that I know, and I can't even remember who it was, posted a picture of one inside of a store, and I just assumed it was Think Geek at the mall, but it may not be. But either way, yeah, it looks amazing, and I totally want one. Don't need it, but I totally want one.
I'm checking.
I want to put it in a safe. So I can open it and go, fine, I'll just do it myself. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the coin bank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the coin bank. No longer available.
It on Amazon?
It is available starting at $55.
Yeah.
We have one here.
Yeah.
It's just it's in a box somewhere.
Yeah. In a vault.
In a vault.
So when he opens it, he can go, I'll just do it myself.
Well,
this is fake. I'm telling you.
That Hot Toys one is
just right on.
Yeah, that Hot Toys one is pretty amazing. Yeah. I kind of want it. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna spend what it costs.
What does it cost? What is the retail on it?
$930.
Holy cannoli!
It's a pre-order. Arrives January to March 2019.
So you have to pay up front, but you don't get it for a year.
Usually you pay it. Yeah, you pay it out when it comes to Hot Toys. Let's see here. Life size, approximately 68 centimeters tall. Features LED light up function with 2 lighting modes, a light on effect, a breathing light effect, multi-layered metallic painting, weathering effect, specially designed custom base with the movie logo.
Okay, so we are in America. What is 68?
Yeah, and I said we're in America, so
we don't have the metric system.
How much is it?
It is basically 27 inches tall.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So 26.77 inches. That's the product size.
Just under 3 feet.
With base, it is 30. Feet. With base, it is 30. Basically, 29.5 inches tall with the base.
Okay, so it's literally just a little bit short of 3 feet.
2.5 feet basically.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, they are.
Joni, get to saving.
So they are doing that. I read this article and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. Someone has put a statue of Jason Voorhees in the bottom of a Minnesota lake.
Yes, I saw that. That would be so terrifying if you go down there. Because isn't there one where he goes into the water?
He comes out of the water.
That's right.
Lake. What is it? Lake. What is it?
The lake at Camp Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Camp
terrifying, man. Holy
and there's one where they chain him down and throw him in the lake so he sinks. So the way the statue is presented is literally like one of the ways he's seen in the movie.
And this is a very popular Minnesota lake that is very popular with divers.
So is the lake in the movie? Like, is it referenced in the movie?
Yes. I mean, they're not this particular lake,
but the fact that
he is in a lake.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I've seen a couple of them, bits and pieces, but I have no interest to watch them.
Have you seen the one where he takes Manhattan?
No, I haven't watched.
I've seen Jason versus Freddy.
Because he takes Manhattan.
I've seen Jason versus Freddy, and that's it. And that was during my one little period in high school.
That was wildly entertaining.
Where I was like into like horror movies for like a very short window of time as a teen, and yeah, I just have no desire to watch any of that stuff.
It's
because a guy with a machete walking around with a hockey mask, to me, is logical.
It's hilarious. It's not logical, but it's hilarious.
No, I didn't say the not dying part, but somebody walking around with a machete and a hockey mask is logical.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well, it could happen.
It's a little too creepy to me. Some dude in a, like a hat with red and black stripes and
Jason
knives,
wears a fedora. That's the next one.
Knives for hands. That doesn't scare me as bad. I still don't want to watch it, but it doesn't scare me as bad.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean,
I saw a
say
kid
that happens in real life. He wouldn't be impervious to all kinds of death like Jason.
No, I agree, but I'm not gonna lie. When we were doing trick or treating, I had a moment of pause this year because some teenager was walking around dragging a machete dressed up as Jason. And I saw, it sounded metal. I don't know what it was, but he was trick-or-treating, but he was dragging it along as if he was Jason Voorhees.
Like dragging it on the ground?
Yeah, so it made noise.
Ooh.
It freaked me out. And, I mean, my house is across the street. Like, I have no reason to be scared. I just run in my house, lock the door, it's not that big of a deal.
And leave Harper and Joni behind?
No, I'll take them with me. I mean, we're just across the street.
See you guys. You're on your own.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see that kid, and I kind of grab Harper, and then I realize it's a teenager, not some random dude walking around with a machete.
Man, he is selling that character.
He's lucky nothing
Method
happened.
acting.
I mean,
Yep.
in this state, something could have happened,
Well, that's true.
Yep, the statue is 120 feet down. It was planted in 2013, so it's gone through a little wear and tear, but it makes it a little more realistic.
That is creepy.
It is so. There is a video. There's an article on Dread Central that talks about it, and there's an interactive video, so you can basically kind of like explore around and look at it. But yeah, it's pretty.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the video. Moving on. Close that tab.
Yep, it is. Yeah, that's terrible. Something that's not terrible. You know what's back on the map? The Highlander reboot.
Yeah.
We got a new screenwriter.
There can be only one. Do you think they make the screenwriters fight with swords in order to get the job? Like you have to live the Highlander lifestyle in order to get this job.
There are certain things about the Highlander lifestyle that aren't that bad. You just tell people you're immortal and you know what happens next. That's what happens in every movie.
I'm immortal and my name is Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. Boom.
Yep.
Only pickup line you need.
That's very true. Ryan J. Condal, who worked on Colony, he also wrote Hercules and Rampage, the new Rampage movie that's coming out, has turned in a script for the Highlander movie. This is what I was more excited about. John Wick and John Wick 2 co-directors Chad Stileski has signed on to direct the film back in 2016 and is still attached to the film. So basically, we're going to get John Wick with a sword.
Yes.
So the president of Lions...
Hopefully no gold coins in some random hotel that they all hang out at. But,
We said the... President of Lionsgate, Patrick Wachsberger, has said, he's quoted as saying, "We finally got a screenplay we're happy with. We've set up the story so it has sequel potential."
That's awesome.
So
I'm excited about that.
Since it is being directed by that group, the thing is, Highlander has to be a rated R movie. There is no way, shape, or form. If they make it PG-13, I'm out.
I think Highlander is one of those shows that should have probably been an R when it came out. I mean, only because...
The first one was.
But I mean, like all of the following ones, I think should have pushed that envelope primarily because of what you're talking. I mean, talking about people that live forever that just chop off people's heads to stay alive. I mean, like to me...
Well, it's PG now.
Yeah, I know it's G probably. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they show that at Disney World all the time.
True.
That's
Star
true.
Wars.
They... If you think about it, like, I think the movies are all R. It's the TV show that went the other way.
Which was the best show ever.
Was the best show ever.
I own season 2, but I don't own any of the other seasons. Because when Joni bought it for me for Christmas, the only one she could find was like season 2.
Aww.
But I was
That's
like,
awesome, though.
I don't care because I've got season 2.
Yeah. So
they're all on Hulu, though.
Oh, are they really?
They are. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I'm catching up on them.
Oh, I've seen them all.
Well,
I've seen them all, but I've got to watch
that way
them
you
again.
can re-go through them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh, Joni, dating years coming back.
Yep.
Mike and Ike's and Highlander.
The Highlander in space.
Highlander
I'm out.
Space.
I made her watch that one. I was like, Joni, this is not what I remember.
I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry. Can we just watch something else?
So
I think that was about the time we stumbled onto Super Troopers. Whenever we were watching
Nice.
all of those movies, getting caught up.
something that appears in both Highlander movies and Star Wars movies and Lord of the Rings movies and pretty much every movie.
British people.
The Wilhelm scream. Now,
oh yeah, it's in Star Wars. Yeah,
not anymore. It is not in Last Jedi. It has been
oh,
retired.
that's true because it wasn't. Yeah,
It has been retired from Star Wars films. Now, the Wilhelm scream, like the Wilhelm scream, like you'll know it if you hear it, and if I feel really like I want to, I'll insert it into the.
I think we should.
What's the timestamp on this? Hang on. About 47 minutes. So
okay, 47 minutes.
So we will. I'll try to see if I can drop it in there. But
you'll have to throw in a visual effect of an explosion happening in one of our chairs and us flying out of the shot.
Make it church.
You can make it me.
I was just going to just do it in the audio of the podcast only. But there is a great app that J.J. Abrams put out for the iPhone where it is basically you can take video and you can add video effects to it. I could absolutely blow up your chair if you wanted me to.
Well, if we're going to do that, we need Tyrese from Too Fast, Too Furious going, ejectocito, cuz. And like he hits the button, then you blow up, and then the scream happens. See, that's perfect.
I will be honored to have a Wilhelm scream.
So
That'd be great.
That's bucket list checked off.
The Wilhelm scream has a long history. First appearance, 1953, the charge at Feather River when a character is shot in the leg by an arrow. The sound designer in the original Star Wars tracked down the distinctive shriek from his own library of sound effects and named it the Wilhelm scream after the character in the film. And so it has been in every Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. It has been, except for
Last Jedi
and Rogue One. So there is a very. It wasn't in Rogue One. Apparently, there is a very. There is a different scream that exists in both Rogue One and Last Jedi, and that's what the new Wilhelm scream for Star Wars will be.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
I'm all right with that. As long, I mean, the thing is while the Wilhelm scream it's so distinctive. Like you hear it, you know exactly what it is because it's in everything.
Oh yeah, I call it out every time I hear it.
Yeah.
Shannon gets annoyed.
I'm okay with that, but as long as there's still the scream, because like in Star Wars, there's always something that blows up. Like that's a given. It might only be a ship or something.
Most commonly a Death Star.
Something round. Yeah,
yes.
Notice that they don't like circles. But you have to have.
They need a 20-sided Death Star, like a 20-sided dice.
Like a dice, yeah. You just have to have the scream. I don't care if it's necessarily that scream.
And the lasers on the 20.
The lasers on the 20. Critical roll.
Critical.
They have to roll every time they fire it. All right, we're ready to fire it. Alderaan. Roll. One.
They roll. And all you see,
crap.
And all you see is
do an inception check.
Yeah. Then all you see, is basically the stormtroopers like rolling around inside as they roll it, like it actually rolls,
like a hamster wheel.
For
we're onto something here.
For the Spaceballs sequel, like where this is our idea. It is a 20-sided Death Star that you have to actually roll, and whatever side it lands on, that's the power of the laser. And the first time it hits a one, it's like
a BB.
If it hits a one, you just cut to the explosion.
of the Death
The place just explodes.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Fail.
There you go. Anything less than an 11 is like, it just automatically self-destructs.
It has to go up to 11?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I know nothing about D&D other than what I've watched.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just know some of the lingo.
Yep.
And I love the
concept you're fine.
Spaceballs, too.
Spaceballs, too. Yep, 20-sided.
We need to sell
20-sided Death Star. Got to roll it. I like it. So there it said there will be a few more.
Oh my gosh!
There will be a few more. It'll show up in the later Star Wars movies before they start publicly talking about what it is. But now that this article got out, somebody has already done like a post-process audio track comparison between Rogue One and Last Jedi. As soon as it hits digital and Blu-ray, somebody will figure this out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Last Jedi will be digital March 13th. and Blu-ray and 4K, stuff like that on March 27th.
Very cool.
So
cool.
Apparently there's a lot of, we didn't really want to talk about it because they don't want to spoil anything if you've been staying away. There's about 20 minutes of deleted scenes, and apparently they are pretty awesome.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I mean, that's a lot of time.
Will you buy it on digital and Blu-ray, or will you wait the 2 weeks for Blu-ray?
Does the Blu-ray not come with the digital copy?
Blu-ray does come with a digital
I'll
copy.
probably just buy the Blu-ray.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the only reason I'll wait is because I didn't for
Force Awakens. And now you own like 9 copies of it.
And I did not for Rogue One either. And I just realized how much of a racket that is to pay the same price to only get something that I don't actually own. I mean, I own it, but I don't physically own it. And within reason, I mean, most of my Star Wars collection is multiple versions. So like I have the VHS of the original trilogy, and then I have the VHSs of the prequels. Then I have the DVDs of all of them. I don't have the Blu-rays of all of them, which I need. But Blu-ray's will be around for a while, so I think I got some time. But I mean, really, I've just bought several different versions of them. I own the digital versions as well. And that sounds, as I'm saying it sounds absurd to have that many versions.
It is.
However,
but I appreciate it.
You know what? It's just something that I am nerdy about, and
you're the whole reason that they keep doing that, because there's a lot of people.
They know some jerk like me is going to buy everything I can.
Do you have it on Laserdisc?
I do not, because I never had I was too young for Laserdisc to own one.
It's because the remasters got released on Laserdisc.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm almost positive they did, because the artwork is huge on a Laserdisc.
I mean, I was in middle school, high school whenever Laserdisc was popular, so I didn't have the finances.
Remember when the DVDs finally came out for the original trilogy in the black and silver box, and it had footage from Episode 3, and we got our first shots of Anakin.
Yep.
Everyone flipped out about that.
I remember specifically there was is when I still worked for another school district, and Best Buy was doing a movie original release of, I want to say it's all 3, but it may just be the first movie, but it was in a metal tin, and Joni was off work. She was still she was still in college. We both were, and didn't have a full-time job, and she didn't have class that day. And I said, "Will you please go get this for me?" And she stood in line for like 2 hours to get it for me at Best Buy on 71st Street. And she said, "I am with people that only you would be comfortable with." And I'm like, I appreciate it so much. And so I have this metal tin of Star Wars, and it's like the theatrical release. So like you get your cardboard cutouts that aren't CGI'd out of, because they ran out of extras in the final scene. So like everything closest to the camera is just cardboard. It's awesome.
Nice.
It's unedited, no special effect or no special edition stuff, nothing. Theatrical release.
We're going to have a viewing of those.
Absolutely. You fell asleep over there?
Yeah,
He's deep in contemplation.
I was deep in contemplation. No, it's I went to Best Buy yesterday. Speaking of people have been standing in line for a Super NES Classics.
Oh, yeah.
So I go in there yesterday to pick up something, and there is one Super NES Classic sitting on the customer service counter. So I ask, "What's this?" "Oh, we got like 8 of them in. That's the last one." "Yeah, I'll take it." Thank you very much.
And you didn't pay
that was a wonderful sound effect, by the way.
Hey, you're welcome.
That should be our Wilhelm scream.
Which one? So it sounds like Three Stooges. That was just pure luck that I just happened to walk in at that time.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, we just got them." I was like, "Okay."
I think it's awesome that they're still selling so quickly.
Oh yeah, and she said
and that they're still getting them.
Well, I was talking to the person at the counter, and she said it makes no sense. She said if somebody basically they don't know when they're going to get them. They basically just kind of show up at random intervals.
That's what I've heard from so many places.
And she also said, but if we have to return one for a warranty thing or something like that, like the replacement is there like in 2 days.
Wow.
So this is Nintendo purposely letting the stock trickle out little bits at a time.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating, though. I mean, only because if you want one and you don't have a timeline, you end up paying, if you really want one, you end up paying absurd amounts of money for one on eBay.
Right now,
what I'm saying?
So there's $79 right now. You can get one, for about $115 free shipping on eBay.
Well, it's not really.
So I mean, you're getting a little bit gigged, but
yeah, you're getting a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
The crazy market is certainly dried up. That's for sure.
Right, but as soon as the Game Boy Classic comes out, it's going to be back.
Oh yeah, it will be the same.
Yeah, because I mean, they have to do it. There's a company that has already done it. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
It's pretty cool looking, and it plays all the games. It's basically the same thing as the Super NES classics. So, so it's essentially something that's emulating all the games, but it's all there.
Yeah.
Nick, are you trying to track down one?
No.
Okay.
I've got the original Super Nintendo at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the thing is if I didn't have a Nintendo at my house, I would have gotten the classic. If I didn't have a Super Nintendo at my house, I would have tried to go get one.
Gotcha.
But since I've got them, granted, I don't have all the games that are on these new.
But you can
things.
obtain those,
right? However, I did not realize there was a market for that. Did you? For original games?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When we were at Planet, I walked around while I think you were getting some something signed or maybe it was Danny Trejo. It was when you were standing in line for Danny Trejo. And so I was wandering around, and Sunday was so calm that I could actually stop and look at things, and it wasn't chaotic. They were selling original NES games for a whole lot more money than what I thought. Some of which were out of this world. I couldn't believe.
Yeah, some of them more.
One of them was Mike Tyson's Knockout. It was literally Mike Tyson's Knockout.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Whatever, Punch Out. I didn't even know because I looked at the price, and the price was like $200.
They actually grade them now. You know how they grade comic books and cards? Yeah, they do that with boxes and the sleeve.
Because there were some that were like $35 and some that were $45, $60. I thought, oh my gosh.
From what I've noticed, if you just want to get a cartridge for playing, you can get that fairly cheap. Like if it's a hard to get title, you can probably get it for under $30. However, if it's just Tecmo Super Bowl.
Right.
Tecmo Super Bowl you can probably get for under $30 if it's in a
Tecmo
box.
Super Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl?
Tecmo Super Bowl.
They could use the Super Bowl. How sure are you?
I'm fairly sure.
I'm gonna Google this
because it had an NFL license too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay,
and
we're Googling this.
Yeah, it's Tecmo Super Bowl.
It is Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah,
there's also Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, Tecmo Bowl came out in '87. Didn't have no, I think it did have NFL players. It just didn't have all the teams. Super Bowl had all the teams and 99% of the players. They couldn't get the rights to some of the players. Like Cunningham was QB Eagles. I think there was QB Chiefs for Steve Bono or something. But
well, I mean, my thing is, I'm at the point now with all the retro games where I want everything at one place. So I'm really looking at making a Raspberry Pi emulator.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, and maybe even making it a tabletop arcade game.
Make a MAME cabinet. Yeah.
Yeah, just to make it
Speaking
look
of
cool.
Speaking of Tecmo Bowl, one thing we didn't talk about with the Superb Owl is before the game, Sam.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
So he basically simulates the game in Tecmo Bowl, and
records it.
He simulates the game. Here's the score, or whatever, and the guy who either intercepted the last one or caught the last touchdown pass or whatever for the Eagles, there was a person with that name also in his simulation. This is an ancient roster. It matched. It was crazy.
You don't think he coded it or anything to make it do that?
I don't know because it was before the play happened.
It was before,
It was before the play happened.
That's funny.
Well before. And he posted, it's see, I told you it was so-and-so, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, but it was awesome to watch the whole game in 2 minutes, and then the Eagles won, and it's the Eagles actually did win.
Yep.
And I didn't see
it was Barnett, wasn't it?
Barnett. It was Barnett.
Derek Barnett made the sack for the fumble, and then Fred Barnett for the for Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know my Tecmo Bowl players.
I'm saying way to go because I had no idea. I just loved it.
So
because I got accused of ruining it for the Hawks, or no, the Falcons.
Falcons. It's the Hawks are the NBA.
Hawks, Falcons, whatever.
They're both birds in Atlanta.
They're both raptors in the type of bird. I mean, if we're being technical.
Falcon Hawks.
So wasn't that an 80s TV show?
No, I think it was
Falcon Hawk?
It was Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks? Falcon Crest?
Lincoln Hawk. Lincoln Hawk.
Lincoln Hawk. Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Huh. All right, another Star Wars movie.
Falcon Crest.
That one took a second to hit. On another interesting thing.
I'm not caffeinated yet.
From a Star Wars perspective is Mark Hamill is saying, he's just like, I refuse to believe that Luke is gone. He says, quote, my theory is that he just teleported somewhere else and left his robe behind. He teleported to a nudist colony. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm telling you, there is really nobody better at trolling everyone except Mark Hamill.
But there's one very important point that people are not that people talk about. So he left his robes behind. What about his robot hand? Should that not also have been left behind?
But the explanation for that, which I logically, yes, absolutely should have probably been left behind, unless he's had it for so long that he feels like that's a part of him now. I could see them explaining it like that. But was it Rian Johnson who said, they made that choice so it wouldn't be him disappearing, sweeping John Williams' score, massive moment, clang,
robot hand. It would have been better if it would have been clang, robot hand, and he was basically giving Kylo the middle finger. Like, it's just like that's also Spaceballs 2 idea. There it is.
Like Tommy Boy with the skeleton hand, and Tommy Boy with
we're writing Spaceballs 2 at this point.
Apparently we're writing Spaceballs 2 because it's going to be the same thing. Somebody's going to go down, disappear, robot hand clangs, middle finger. It's either middle finger or thumbs up. Like, I don't know which one. Thumbs up feels more like a Spaceballs thing. Like,
well, and if you think about it in terms of like a Buddy Christ moment, right? So
yeah.
He's like,
yeah. So speaking of thumbs up, this is completely off the agenda. Is the photo ops for Dallas Fan Expo went up, and if you want your picture taken with Chuck Norris, you better be ready to drop a full Benjamin to get your picture taken with Chuck Norris. $100 to get your picture taken with him.
And you're not even going to be in the picture. Like, only your feet are going to still be left. He's going to be sitting there with his foot up in the air. You're halfway off the screen. Like,
how cool would that be, though, if every single person's picture was him doing a sidekick?
It's basically, it's just your shoes are left. Like, I don't want to be in this picture.
By the end of
I just want you to sidekick, and I want my shoes down there. That's all I want.
By the end of the day, though, could you imagine? It'd be like riding a horse. Like, he's going to walk funny.
So, yeah, I thought that was a little high, but I get it because he's never done a con appearance before. And so,
is he really out that much money? Doesn't he live in Dallas?
Well, that's the only reason he's there is because he's that one. But $100.
I want him on the Total Gym in my picture.
We were talking about Nick and I were talking like I want someone to cosplay as the Total Gym, and then the photo op is him basically working out on the cosplay Total Gym. Like that's what I want.
And we also talked about because Jared said like it's $100, but Jeff Goldblum's what, 90?
Jeff Goldblum is 90.
And I go, does it come with a $10 gift certificate to the Total Gym? I mean, like, I'm not understanding how he's a bigger pool than
Jeff Goldblum. I don't know. The Goldblum one's going to happen.
Or I want to make a shirt. I don't know that I'm going to get a photo op, but I want to make a shirt that if I decide to do one, I want it literally. I want Walker, Texas Ranger, and with arrows to each arm.
Oh boy,
that's like Talladega Nights.
It is.
If we wanted sissies, we would have called them Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman.
We named him Walker and Texas Ranger.
And Texas Ranger.
It's Fan Expo. Yeah, that's Jeff Goldblum for 90. I get, like, I understand because it's Jeff flipping Goldblum. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm shocked that it's not more expensive.
And then, but you get Chuck Norris for $100. Like. It's one of those things that could be your only opportunity.
Yeah.
It could be, I don't know.
The real question is, in your photo op, if you're not the Total Gym, do you walk in as his partner on Walker, Texas Ranger? Like, do you dress as his partner?
Or do you do Jonathan Brandis from Sidekicks?
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with it. Do you dress up in the white ninja suit from Sidekicks with the nunchucks, the speed chucks that he's got? Do you do that?
That was Jonathan Brandis, right?
I think so.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Do you wear Chuck Norris's signature line of kicking pants that he had back in the 80s?
The jeans.
With the gusseted jeans.
Yeah.
And cowboy boots and do a kick.
I would say those.
Yeah,
you should do those.
Or do you dress up as what is his military character? I don't know the name.
Oh, from Delta Force?
Yeah, with the bandana. Do you dress up like that? Like there are so many options with Chuck Norris.
It seems.
Do you dress up as Bruce Lee?
See,
because he was in a movie with Bruce Lee.
I wouldn't.
Well, so here's the thing. It's very simple. It's the Delta Force bandana, but you're wearing a cowboy hat in I don't know what shirt, and then the gusseted jeans and cowboy boots. Like you mash it up.
I think we need to review the definition of simple because that does not sound simple.
It's just one piece.
Saying.
It's one piece of costume from each of his major characters.
True. This is true, but Bruce Lee killed him in a movie.
That's true.
So
that's why I wouldn't. Maybe he's wanting revenge.
I'm telling you, somebody's going to.
Swords don't hit back. You know what I mean?
Somebody's going to. I mean, they're going to have to say no punches, no side kicks, no roundhouses. Like that's going to be a thing for.
Oh yeah, that's going to have to be on a sign.
You would assume that would be understood, but yes, I bet they have to say it.
This is
It's Chuck Norris.
It's true. Yeah, like for me, like all I want, like I just want the Chuck Norris thumbs up. Like that's all.
I dress as a Chuck Norris meme.
Well, I was about to say you could put a fake beard, and then you could have a fist coming out of the beard.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, there's so many memes. There's so many memes that
fist.
That.
There's our title, by the way. Beard fist.
Beard fist. There's just so many memes you could dress up as. I don't know. It's funny.
It could, yeah. So, beard fist #Spaceballs 2 because we're writing this. So yeah, we will be at Fan Expo Dallas. We won't be media, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be around there doing stuff and trying to snag interviews, anyways. So we'll see if we can pull that off. To wrap up this one, because we love a good heist story. It's
Did we ever find out about the highway heist and wherever that was?
I never got any more news on that one.
I don't even remember what episode that was, but it
was a while ago.
Yeah, I mean it's probably 30 episodes ago, but there was a heist. It was like literally a Fast and the Furious in real life heist. It was the craziest thing ever. These people got off of a car that was moving behind a semi truck that was also moving.
Yep.
And offloaded its goods. It's just crazy. And nobody got ran over. It's crazy.
And Paul Walker didn't have to blow his cover.
And Vin Diesel didn't have to hang out of the window and try to grab my arm.
So it's people know that.
Oh yes,
this
from Dodgeball. Yes,
that's exactly what I want. That's what I want. The thumbs up. I just want the Chuck Norris thumbs up.
You walk in, you go, I need you to give me the thumbs up from Dodgeball.
Yep.
Boom. Yeah, absolutely.
But do you really tell Chuck Norris what to do?
No, Chuck Norris tells you what to do.
You do if you're wanting to die that day.
But there would be photographic evidence.
It would be a glorious way.
It would be a way. I mean, short of Highlander, Chuck Norris, he doesn't chop off, he kicks your head off.
Chuck Norris doesn't have to hurt you to kill you. You know what I mean? Like, he just looks at you.
That's true. So this whole Bitcoin thing, this whole cryptocurrency thing is obviously still, the market is up and down and left and right.
But it's been volatile for a while.
Very much so. But so in order to do this, you have to have mining computers, basically these things.
I know somebody that just built one. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I knew in other countries you could build them.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of the thing. I didn't realize here you could. But I happen to know somebody that has posted some pictures of their mining rig.
Well, the thing about it is a lot of it is GPU based, basically video card based, which is why video card prices are through the roof, because that's what gets used for mining.
Which is also the thing that has
all the water spots on it. Yes,
Fantastic.
It is. So in Iceland, power is very cheap. And the thing about mining computers is they are very power hungry.
Yeah, I was going to say it sucks down.
They are very power hungry. Well, since between December 2017 and January 2018, according to Icelandic authorities, the biggest series of thefts ever in Iceland's history, 600 mining computers were stolen from Icelandic data centers in 4 separate burglaries. So they've arrested 11 people, but those mining machines are worth approximately $2 million.
So let me ask you a question, and this is something I haven't dove into, and maybe you haven't either, but with these mining computers, the person that owns the computer, are they making income? I realize it's probably in Bitcoin, but are they making income?
Yes. Basically, they will decrypt over time a portion of a Bitcoin that goes into their Bitcoin wallet.
Okay.
So it is theirs.
But then how do they get actual cash?
Then you sell the Bitcoin on the market, basically, through somebody like Coinbase or something like that, through a Bitcoin.
Gotcha.
But here's the crazy thing. Those, so a lot of Iceland's energy is geothermal.
Right.
So it's just, it's natural, it's there. Later this year, Bitcoin mining is expected to draw more power than the entire 300,000 person population of Iceland. So you're talking about, in the span of a few years, doubling their power draw purely for Bitcoin. But the thing is, electricity is so cheap because there's so much geothermal energy there, this doesn't even phase them. Like, they're like, whatever, I got, more than we need. So
it's amazing that they're doing all of that with geothermal energy, though.
Yeah, pretty much
helps
powering a whole island.
I guess. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, it is something that is pretty... yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Which if you've owned a house and you haven't looked into geothermal options, which a lot of places can't do it, it's really pretty cool stuff.
You can do some of it here for heating and cooling here,
right?
But the install is
it's pretty pricey.
It's pricey because they got to dig pretty deep.
Is it 60 feet?
50 to 60 feet. Yeah, that's a lot. That's
pretty far down there.
That is very far down there. Just a couple quick things that aren't on the agenda. Church, did you ever play Turok?
A little bit. Over at Sam's house.
Yep, Turok 1 and 2 remasters are now available on Xbox One. I'm kind of excited about that.
Nice.
I'm seeing more and more about Fortnite to the point that we're going to have to start playing this.
It's all I hear.
I'm fine with Fortnite. I can get behind that.
Because I think between Fortnite and Sea of Thieves... we're starting to get more and more information about Sea of Thieves because we're not far away. We're a couple weeks from Sea of Thieves, if that. And,
Mitchell was saying he's definitely going to get it.
And where you can customize your ship and your character. So we're all going to be pirates. It's going to be amazing.
Skeleton pirates at that, right?
No, you can be real human.
Oh, okay.
Flesh.
Can I be the shark?
Can be the shark. I want to be left. Can I be left shark?
Well, like Mitchell was saying in the video that he watched, this guy, he said he found a guy that blew up his ship originally. So he blows up the guy's ship. In the process of blowing up the guy's ship that he was chasing, that guy swims to his ship, kicks him off of his own ship, and steals his ship.
Yep. Pirates.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I am excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to have a little level of commitment from the group, though, because the last game that we all were going to play is still in the wrapper for me, and it would be PUBG.
PUBG?
PUBG, yeah.
Thankfully, it was cheap, but I bought it, and I've yet to play it, because right now we're still all on Destiny.
Yeah. Well, I finally got my
I bought the Division and played that, and it kind of, I don't know.
Division was fun, but Destiny 2 came out and just pulled us completely off of everything.
Have either of you done Nightfall yet?
No, not yet. Not for this week yet.
Okay. I'm interested to see how that goes without the timer.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Probably a little more fun.
I would think Sea of Thieves would be an easy one to commit to because if you do the Game Pass, it's supposed to be on there. Then you're only committing to $10 a month. So say we only play it for 2 months, we committed $20.
Yeah, it's a good point.
All right, we're going to wrap up with this one thing here. The Razzies have been released because the Oscars are this weekend. And so the Razzies are always, basically, they're the anti-Oscar. And
50 Shades dominated, didn't it?
No. Here we go. Let me run this through.
Please tell me that was a pun intended.
Nice. Transformers Last Night had 9 nominations but didn't win any prizes. Worst Picture. Okay, I'm gonna name these off and then you guess which one it is. Baywatch, Emoji Movie, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, Transformers Last Night.
And this is the worst.
Worst
movie?
Picture.
Wait,
Emoji
are these
Movie.
the nominees?
These are the nominees for Worst Picture: Baywatch, Emoji Movie, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, Transformers: Last Night.
Emoji Movie.
Church?
I'm going to say The Mummy.
Oh, Emoji Movie.
It's terrible.
Worst actor.
There's already winners?
Yeah,
Oh,
they've
okay.
announced it.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
okay. Worst actress: Katherine Heigl, Dakota from Unforgettable, Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades, Jennifer Lawrence, Mother, Tyler Perry, who's in the worst actress category as Boo 2, and Medea Halloween,
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause he plays
Emma
Medea.
Watson, The Circle.
Tyler Perry.
Nick?
I'll go with Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Worst actor: Tom Cruise, The Mummy, Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jamie Dornan, 50 Shades Darker, Zac Efron, Baywatch, Mark Wahlberg, Daddy's Home 2, and Transformers.
What was the first one that you said?
Johnny Depp. Oh, sorry, Tom
No.
Cruise, The Mummy.
Tom Cruise.
Wahlberg.
Tom Cruise. Worst supporting actor: Javier Bardem for Mother and Pirates of the Caribbean, Russell Crowe for The Mummy, Josh Duhamel for Transformers, Mel Gibson, Daddy's Home 2, Anthony Hopkins, Collide, and Transformers: Last Night. Worst supporting actor:
Gibson.
What was the first one?
Javier Bardem for Mother and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Gibson.
It's Gibson. Worst supporting actress: Kim
4 for
Basinger,
4.
50 Shades Darker, Sophia Botella, The Mummy, Laura Haddock, Transformers: Last Night, Goldie Hawn, Snatch, Susan Sarandon, A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Sarandon.
Goldie.
Kim Basinger, 50 Shades Darker.
So, we got that way wrong.
Worst
They're
on-screen
all
combo. Two characters or things I can't say and retain our everyone rating. 50 Shades Darker. Any two combination of humans to robots or to explosions from Transformers: The Last Night. Any two obnoxious emojis from the Emoji Movie. Johnny Depp and his worn-out drunk routine from Pirates of the Caribbean. Tyler Perry in either the radial dress or the worn-out wig from Medea Halloween. Worst on-screen combo.
Tie?
Tyler Perry.
Emojis.
It's emojis.
Oh.
Worst remake, ripoff, or sequel: Baywatch, Boo 2, A Medea Halloween, 50 Shades Darker, The Mummy, Transformers: Last Night.
Last Night.
Worst ripoff or sequel:
The Mummy.
50 Shades Darker. Worst director: Darren Aronofsky, Mother, Michael Bay, Transformers, James Foley, 50 Shades, Alex Kurtzman, The Mummy, Tony Leonidas, The Emoji Movie.
The Emoji Movie guy.
George?
I'll say Michael Bay.
It's the Emoji Movie guy. Worst screenplay:
He's
Baywatch.
probably gotten it too many times. They wanted to go, okay, someone else have it this time.
Worst screenplay: Baywatch, Emoji Movie, 50 Shades, The Mummy, Transformers: Last Night.
Screenplay.
Emojis.
Worst screenplay:
I'll go with Emoji.
Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
There's a theme here. The Razzie contender so rotten that you loved it: Baywatch, Emoji Movie, 50 Shades, The Mummy, Transformers: Last Night, Medea Halloween.
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
Yeah.
So,
I haven't even seen it, but
It's
I just
funny.
figured as much. I saw maybe the first 5 minutes of it, and Harper woke up from a nap, and I was like, "Yeah,
Click.
and off."
and off.
Yeah.
Hey, Shanna's watching. So, Church, what do you have to say?
Eh,
So,
Man.
I'm kidding. I love you.
isn't that nice?
Oh.
I've been good lately. So
Lately.
I give her- well, yeah, I have to say lately. You guys know me.
That's true.
Yeah, this is truthful.
Yeah. I'm church.
That's true. The dark side eventually comes out. So,
No, the normal side.
the normal side. That's true. That is more
The good
accurate.
side is the rare one.
That is more accurate. All right, guys. Well, this is going to wrap up episode 78, Beard Fist. That's what we're going to call it. Thanks for watching.
It sounds like an Old Spice cologne.
It really does.
Beard Fist.
Oh, we should. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cosplay right there.
Sam, we need a Gather the Nerds cologne ad called Beard Fist. So the thing is, like, our buddy Sam, we've talked about this before, is so enormously talented when it comes to video and Photoshop and audio stuff that I really want to make it a point to get his stuff onto the point that I think I'm just going to give him access to our YouTube channel and just let him upload stuff.
We're going to have to add him to payroll.
We're going to have to add him to payroll. You get $0.
We pay in Tootsie Rolls.
That's true. Not lime ones, though.
Yeah, right. Those are a commodity. That's only for
that's
Jared.
the Bitcoin.
That's the Bitcoin of this house.
Figure out a way to
payroll.
mine the lime Tootsie Rolls. And we're in business.
We are in business. All right, this is going to wrap up episode 78. Thanks for listening. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Gather the Nerds. iTunes reviews are huge for us. Thank you for any of that. Something we are going to talk about on the next live episode is I have an autographed print from Planet Comic-Con of Dark Knight Metal, signed by Snyder, Capullo, and Glapian, who so basically the writers and the artists of that metal, of Dark Knight Metal. It is gorgeous. It is amazing. We are going to be giving it away. Fantastic. But it is going to be a multi-step thing, which means there will likely be code words dropped on Facebook Live, on episodes, Twitter, Instagram, all those things, and that way we can kind of verify all of that stuff. We will be giving that away
and
we shortly.
Hope that you know what those code words are.
Hope will not be a code word.
Yeah, it will not. It will not.
I hope you change your mind.
And then maybe even potential further giveaways, while not as cool as what Cav's talking about. I managed to buy 2 duplicate variants.
Oh, Star Wars one, yeah.
So, we'll test the waters on this and see how it goes and go from there.
Yeah, we're going to do some stuff, kind of drive some stuff. And then hopefully by the next episode or 2, we'll have hopefully a discussion about...
He said it first.
I did. We'll have more about our Instagram follower experiment. So
Yeah. Because...
What I might do, we may think about doing is also we may start with Twitter, because Twitter is by far our smallest group of followers. We might start with Twitter and see how that works, and then spread it out. But it could be fun. Could be a very interesting experiment. So, all right, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We will we'll see everybody next week. Until then, I'm Cav. That's Nick.
See ya.
That's Church 2.
Be kind, guys.
See you guys. Bye. Remember, we are still live on Facebook right now.
Don't say anything.
Say nothing. Say everything. Say anything.
Say everything.
So I can't do Jay's rap yet?
You cannot do Jay's rap yet.